Hello everybody, it's Brooke at the Physio Revolution. Happy Friday, happy hour to you. I apologize, it's just me today. Bella is out enjoying some time with her puppy cousins, having a great time from what I hear. So hopefully it's not as disappointing just having me today, but rather we're gonna go through some fun stuff today. I'm actually making a concoction that I love. I kind of created it myself. But it's pretty simple. It's just a little bit of Jameson, some whiskey, some lemonade, and a little bit of mint. So since the garden is still fresh, and I don't know why, but we still have 80 degrees here in Denver, cheers to that, cheers to fresh mint, and cheers to your Friday and happy hour. So thanks for joining us today. I'm glad to have you here, and we're excited to talk all about golf today because that was one of the requests that a good friend and an old client of ours, Jen, brought in. She said, I'm wondering what I need to do about my back pain regarding golf. So seems like I get a lot of these scenarios with people that avid golfers or even just a weekend warrior golfer, if we can label that, seem to tend to get a little bit more back discomfort with golfing. So we're going to address that today and talk about it, tackle some of that. This is delicious, so one more drink. And I'm going to have you stationed over here so that you can see me because golf is a pretty complex movement. Most of the time when I'm dealing with people, there we go, when I'm dealing with people who are struggling with back pain, we have to look into the full system of a swing. It's not typically putting that bothers anybody because you're just leaning over for a small duration of time and a little bit of a swing, right? So we're really dealing with drives and long wedge shots. If I could talk, that's a little bit of a tongue twister. So with those longer drives, you have to create more power, and so a lot of people start compensating to swing harder or to swing, I'm going to close this door so it's not so loud for you guys. So it can generate some force and some power, and so a lot of people start to compensate in their shots, meaning that's why back pain can be a little bit more prevalent for some people. So let's get into that a little bit. I'm going to be standing back here. This is my home. Welcome to the house. This little guy right here, he's our new plant. His name is Andre. He's awesome. We love having him here. He's a little sharp, so we always be careful with Andre that we don't touch him. So enjoy. Welcome to our home. You're always welcome here. So anyways, let's get back to golf. Golfing is complex like we talked about. Now, I'm not the best golfer, but I'm going to do my best golfing pose, right? I tend to have a hefty time compensating as well, but I don't struggle with back pain during golf. It's more that I'm just really looking to swing towards the fences and getting nowhere. So mostly mind for me, but for those golfers that deal with back pain, right? So when we talk about golf, I'm going to act like I'm golfing here. Now, it's a very complex movement, so a lot of things that I talk about with people is, do we have enough mobility not only in our hips to get into a golf swing, but also in our shoulders and in our thoracic spine, right? So golf comes like so. I'm a righty. For those of you that are lefties in golfing, just make sure that you're thinking opposite here. So golf for people is generating force by shifting your hips to the back leg, of course, right? Shifting your hips, and as you come up into your swing, not only do you need the hip shift, but you have to have motion to be able to go into this so you can get rotation at your hips. Now, if you're blocked at a hip and it's not rotating, it's going to lock up and cause something to happen at the low back, right? So we think about hip mobility as one of the key factors with golfing that we have to look at. Is there an imbalance between the two? Do you notice a rotation, or do you lack one of the motions in the hip that creates this, right? And typically for people, it's this inward rotation, and it's this different rotation at the hip here to get the hip to shoot back to get that counterbalance of a swing, right? So if the hips lock up, the back has to take the torque. That's one of the reasons that I see people struggle with back pain. So looking at your hip mobility, looking at the strength in your hips is always something with golfers I take a look at. If you notice a difference, it's a big problem, right? Especially with golfing, because then you have to compensate by letting your low back take all of the rotation instead of your hips doing the rotation, and your back just follows with it, right? Second component is, and like I tell people, it's never really truly a back problem. It's something that's generated above or below. So let's say you have good hip mobility, then your back comes into play, but the club is in the hands. So if you don't have good motion to do a swing with a golf club, such as this motion, it either comes from two areas that I see most commonly. Shoulder doesn't have enough external rotation and being able to horizontally abduct, we call that, or this motion, which is a combined motion. So if your shoulder doesn't have enough, the thoracic spine has to take up enough, but normally thoracic spines are very, very tight. So shoulder's tight, thoracic spine is tight, then what? Low back has to take it, right? So when I say this, it's shoulder tightness, thoracic or mid-back tightness, then low back has to take the torsion too. So it could come from above and below, but a true assessment is the only thing that's really going to rule in and out where that's coming from to create torsion on the low back and why you have pain in your back, right? So if I think about this swing, if I don't have rotation to get my shoulder here, if I don't have rotation to get the other one here, if I don't have rotation to get my hips, the only thing that can give is basically at this point, you have to rotate your spine. So that's where a lot of people get into trouble. Now, what I'm going to be able to do is show you at least one exercise that I know will help everybody across the platform. I don't care if you're a golfer or not. We lack rotation in our thoracic spine. Point blank, we're terrible at it. Why? Because we reach forward and we do about 3,000 to 5,000 times per day bending forward and we barely go backwards. Now, I always tell people with the low back, it's essential that we do retractions or press-ups with our backs, trying to put them in an opposite direction. Now, what I'm going to show you today is more about the thoracic or this mid-back area that a lot of people say, well, you just pop me there, it's just so tight, right? Some want it in the low back, but most people really adore having a little bit of that cavitation or that pop from maybe a chiropractor, or even if you're just somebody who have kids and you lay down on your floor and you'll just say, just walk all over my back, right? And you might get cavitations from that. We're all looking, as we lean over chairs, we're all looking for that mobility. So here's one that's really gonna help a lot of you. Open up this thoracic spine or this rib cage spine area because we lack a lot of this rotation and extension, especially in golfers too. So golfers, for those of you that enjoy golfing or kind of avid, this is something that you can warm up with to make your swing even better as you go, and you'll connect and hit that ball even further. So nonetheless, here's the exercise. It's called an open book. Ideally, you're not going to have your shoes on your couch like me, right? So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to take something that's going to force your knee forward in a bent position like so. So taking that top leg, bending it up, doing this right here, and from this position you're going to have your hands straight out in front of you, okay? And then at this point you're going to open up, keep connected with that leg down here. Now a lot of people do this on the floor, and you're going to stretch that spine as you rotate open. So repetitive is key. You can do that about 10 to 15 times and really work on that thoracic range. You're going to get this stretch all along this mid-spine here. So open books are key to help golfers. I hope that this helps you as well. I need to go find that drink again because it's Friday and we had a fantastic week at the Physio Revolution. We really did. We had a bunch of people coming in who were getting problems solved and now finding solutions to coming back to where they want to be. So for instance, we had somebody who said to me, you know, for the first time I had a straight full sleep, 8 hours plus of being able to sleep without pain. I mean, to me, that's when we're doing things that we get to help people get back to life without having to live in this, like that's when we get to sleep at night, is because we know we're helping you guys and other people out there that don't have to live in chronic pain, don't have to deal with you know, unnecessary surgeries or pain medications that are creating this crisis of having an addiction to some terrible stuff out there. So thank you guys. Thank you for always being supporters and nonetheless believing in the fact that there are other options and solutions out there, and we're grateful to be one of those for many people. So happy Friday, happy hour with you know, the ability to talk about golfing today. Thank you for that time, and we look forward to speaking to you soon. Make sure to watch out for upcoming events that are coming up. We're actually going to be hosting a party for our 1-year anniversary, and we'll be giving details out for that really soon. Also, if you're not connected with us on Facebook, please do, because we normally give out a lot of free tips. and we like to give free giveaways once in a while. So our free giveaways should be coming up here again pretty soon, to be determined at this point. But anyways, have a fantastic Friday, and we'll talk soon. Take care. Bye-bye.